Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a collective reading and energy update. So I'm going to go ahead and get started by shuffling the Energy Oracle cards deck. And if you would like to manifest a more specific message from the reading, I always recommend to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as these are forms of energetic transference that do allow me to pick up more easily on your energy and channel more specifically for you and your situation. So right away, I have the Hostilities card in the upright position, and this is sitting on the third eye chakra. Now, right away, what I heard from this card is there is someone connected to you who is fighting their intuition. And I don't know who this hyper-specific message is for, but I kept specifically getting that there is someone romantic attached to your energy that could be from your past, who you had a very strong chemistry with, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, but this person is fighting their intuition and trying to block something out mentally around you or around this connection. I feel as though whoever I'm specifically picking up on here might also be writing off your connection as being purely physical, because I do sense that there was a lot of really strong physical attraction between the two of you. So it's almost like this person is telling themselves that the reason they can't stop thinking about you, or the reason they feel this pull towards you, is purely physical. Now, the thing is, I feel like this is truly not the case, that what they're actually feeling is their intuition trying to push them towards you. However, that seems to be what this person is trying to reject or push away here. So I am going to pull a few specific messages regarding how this person is ignoring their own intuition. I just feel them being pushed so strongly towards you. But the reason is because this push towards you is actually a push towards their own sacred journey, their own spiritual awakening. Because here we have the card Sacred Journey. Understand who you truly are. This journey brings self-discovery. Now, I want to say that, especially if you are a divine feminine listening, because I am getting that for the majority of you listening to this reading, and I'm picking up that this person attached to you would be a masculine in this case. What I'm getting is you mirrored something very, very powerful and extremely intense to this masculine energy. In fact, we've been channeling this a lot in recent readings, but a very awakened divine feminine like yourself listening to this reading is like an extremely clear mirror, and you therefore clearly reflect back to others what they are. And I'm not just talking romantically, I'm talking even those in your life, in the workplace, in platonic situations, in family situations. And what I'm getting is that you reflect to others the blockages within themselves that are preventing them from reaching their highest potential. But in doing so, the flip side of that is you are also reflecting to them that highest potential. We even have the potential card coming out here. This says fulfillment, risk, achievement. Your potential is limitless. So there is this dynamic in your connections, divine feminine. And again, not just the romantic ones, the platonic and even the acquaintanceships as well, where you reflect to others their highest potential. And you're also capable of consciously perceiving that potential within them. But the process of getting to know you is a process of unraveling every blockage and barrier between that person and their highest potential. Getting to know you isn't a surface level process, and it's not something that someone can treat in a surface level way. In fact, when someone does try to get to know you from a purely superficial or physical standpoint, they will only be able to go so far. They will quite literally be spiritually and energetically blocked from getting to know you any further. And in fact, you may have had people cut out of your life in exactly this manner, where they tried to approach you in a very casual, superficial, or surface level way. And the divine quite simply would not allow that to happen. Because again, the process of getting to know you is actually simultaneously a highly sacred spiritual journey within the self. And one cannot be taken without the other. Someone cannot choose to get to know you without going within themselves on this inner journey. But equally, I'm hearing that if someone is connected to you in the quantum realm, meaning they're part of your soul group, part of your soul family, you have a soul connection, and they are doing the inner work, they are bound to run into you or to cross paths with you at some point in time. That is what I mean when I say that one cannot happen without the other. So if someone quantum connected to you in a meaningful way is also on this sacred journey within themselves, they are going to run into you, meaning they're going to meet you, connect with you, either consciously, subconsciously, through dreams, in the physical. This is also why you've been very busy, Divine Feminine, because you've been running into a lot of these so-called soulmates, those who are more closely connected to you in the quantum field, who have been starting this trek down an inner journey within themselves. Now, some of these meetings could come in the form of very small interactions that could even be written off as meaningless to the conscious egoic mind, but they actually are incredibly meaningful, because even through the smallest of interactions, there is an energetic exchange taking place, where you are, in a sense, acting as a guide, even subconsciously, to others along this journey. And that is why others do tend to call you in or manifest you into their life, even if just for those brief moments, because what they're actually seeking on a soul level is the opportunity to exchange energy with you in a way that will help to catapult them further towards their highest divine potential. Now, circling back, you, Divine Feminine, also have the ability of perceiving that potential within others, just as you can perceive the potential of a flower within a seed. However, this can cause complications in your own human emotional field as well, because when you are someone who can see others for their highest potential, you are going to encounter others who are not necessarily willing in that moment to embody their highest potential. So those who are drawn to you in that manner will simultaneously feel a kind of irresistible desire to connect with you and to have you in their life, while at the same time not being ready to face those blockages and barriers you are so intensely mirroring back to them about themselves. And in these cases, even those that you might consider soulmates, even a twin flame, someone who is very similar to you on an energetic level, meaning they share a similar core soul frequency, or in the case of twin flames, an identical frequency to your own. Even those who are very similar to you on a soul level, if they are not emanating that core soul frequency in a strong way, if they are layered with blockages and barriers internally that they aren't willing to face, This can put you in a situation of being able to see their potential as well as the highest timeline potential of the connection between the two of you, while at the same time not being able to fully access that potential at that moment in the physical realm because of that person's choice to reject their own potential or to not face their own internal blockages and barriers. So I feel all of this is coming up for a reason, because what we're describing here seems to be happening with this masculine who is connected to your energy, who is fighting their intuition here for some of you listening. Now, again, this will not resonate for everyone. I tend to channel many hyper-specific messages throughout these reading videos, so only take from the readings what connects with you. I also sense that we will be channeling into other connections in this reading as well. So if this specific series of messages is not connecting, then there may still be something in this video for you. With the cards Unawakened and Material World, this is a potential soulmate or twin flame who is heavily focused on their physical 3D world at this time. They are feeling that this is out of necessity, so they may be under stress or pressure, either at home, financially, in the workplace, physically in some way. This is someone that is living from what we would think of as a very unawakened state of being, or a lower vibrational state of being, because of how focused they are at this time on the purely material. Now, the thing that they can't quite grasp about this connection between you is that it so entirely transcends the material. The connection that you share touched them on a really deep level, even if they aren't yet fully willing or ready to accept just how deeply you left a mark on them. They keep thinking it's going to fade away like a footprint in the sand, but I'm hearing it was a print made in cement. This is an ancient mark, not one that you've left on them in this lifetime, but one that pre-existed this life because of the ancient bond between you that you simply consciously reactivated. And that is what this particular masculine is not able to fully wrap their mind around. I feel this is someone who would really reject the idea of soul connections, but you are the strongest soul connection they've ever experienced in this lifetime. Now, of course, for you, this may or may not be the case, because you do tend to connect and run into a lot of soulmates. You may be on a twin flame journey as well, but for this person, they've never met a closer match to their soul than you. And that is the hardest thing of all for them to accept, because I feel that on the surface, certain things about the two of you may look very different or even opposite. And if there's some kind of a separation or a disconnect here, this masculine might even be comforting themselves by saying, well, we were just too different to make it work. Or they might be telling themselves that you never really saw them or never really understood them, or vice versa. But deep down, they know that the opposite is true. They know that you saw to the deepest core of their being, and that they saw you and your divinity as well. There was this shared sense of being fully seen. And as much as this person might try to reject that knowing, they still can't escape it. It's something that's always there in their mind. And it's almost as though the fact they are constantly trying to reject a thought that won't escape their mind is putting them in this state of angst or frustration. However, they're not acting on it. And even if you have, or if you were to reach out to this person, they would most likely be very unresponsive because of how much they are rejecting their intuition at this time, even though they have been and continue to heavily think about you. I'm hearing they replay any conversations, any interactions. They constantly think about reaching out to you. I'm also getting a very specific message that if you have ever found yourself replaying conversations, interactions, things that occurred with this person in your mind, and those reruns, so to speak, mentally seem to pop completely out of the blue, this can actually be a sign that you are subconsciously picking up on the fact that this masculine is doing the same thing. In fact, we could say they are the one initiating that energy because they are thinking so heavily about past interactions with you, about past conversations the two of you may have had, that they are causing those kinds of images and thoughts and replays to happen within your own mind via energetic transference. So I know that someone I'm speaking to here has been experiencing this, and it can be very frustrating on your end as well, because this is someone who isn't doing anything about that. And again, even if you have reached out, or if you were to reach out, you would find this person very unresponsive at this time. There's a kind of stubbornness about their energy as well that I'm picking up on. However, beneath that stubbornness, there are a lot of spinning, kind of racing thoughts here. And that is what I want to dive into in the extended reading on Patreon. So in the Patreon reading, we will be taking a closer look at what kinds of spinning thoughts are occurring in this masculine's mind, what they are really thinking and feeling on a deeper level beneath that kind of conscious surface layer rejection here, as well as how this situation could potentially move forward into the future. So if you are interested in those extended details and messages, the link to that is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. For now, I'm going to go ahead and reshuffle the cards here. And I want to know who or what else is connected to your energy. By the way, today is the 2/2 portal. It is February 2nd as of when I am posting this video. And if you count the 2 at the beginning of 2024, then really it's the 222 portal, which of course 222 is a really powerful number of alignment. It often indicates profound synchronicity, which in itself can indicate that you are in that moment really falling into alignment with your highest soul's purpose and path. So you might be seeing even some of that number. I'm also getting you might be seeing 1122 or 1133 in some form or combination. Now, when I channeled into who else may be connected to your energy, we got the card Observe. So there is someone that is watching or observing you. This could be from a distance. This could be online via social media. I'm hearing that if you have a public persona or an online social media presence, and your accounts are public or accessible to this person, then this is someone who would heavily watch what you are sharing, what you are creating, but wouldn't do anything about it. They wouldn't necessarily reach out to you. Now, this person's intuition is really pushing them to shift out of a negative state of being, shift into more optimism and happiness. This might be someone who struggled with a lot of really heavy emotional patterns or feelings, who is working to shift into a lighter state of being, but they've been feeling really frustrated at themselves. They feel as though they've been very stagnant in their own life. Now, I am getting that once this person gets on the other side of these heavier emotional patterns and they shift into a more positive headspace, you can expect to hear this person either reaching out to ask for your forgiveness or to clear the air on something that might kind of feel as though it's hanging between the two of you. But I am getting the sense this is someone who may have pulled away or withdrawn from your life when they were in a low mood or when they were feeling in a heavy place, because they didn't want to be a burden on you, or they didn't feel prepared to actually take action on the feelings that they were having for you or their desires towards you. Now, of course, this could be a platonic or romantic situation, so take that as it resonates. But I am getting for some of you, this was romantic, where this person had very strong desire regarding you, but felt as though they weren't capable of manifesting or sustaining those desires with you because of this low vibrational headspace or these negative kind of emotional patterns that they would get into. Somehow this person just didn't feel strong enough. And in the end, they may have come off as being very stubborn. There may have been some kind of argument where it felt like there was just no give or no compromise. With the Seven of Wands in the upright position, things may have ended between the two of you very abruptly, whether it was a friendship, whether it was a romantic situation, a family member. It may have seemed as though suddenly everything became too much, and it's almost like you both were resigned to just needing to take some time apart here. But I am seeing that this Seven of Wands card is turning around. So representing that although in that moment it may have seemed like there was no compromise here between the two of you, this person is going to be giving in on something emotionally, meaning something's going to push them over the edge into wanting to communicate or wanting to clear the air, to ask for your forgiveness here. And I do sense that when they do come back in, they will be returning in a much softer way. So prior, they may have come off very obstinate, very stubborn, but I'm getting that when they do come back in, because of this lighter headspace they're going to shift into, they're going to come back in more softly, more willing to compromise, wanting to connect, wanting to forgive or be forgiven and move beyond the past between the two of you. For some of you, if it was romantic in the past, this person may be wanting to clear the air just to establish some kind of positive relation, even if it's just a friendship, an acquaintanceship, to be on good terms. I do feel this is someone who, if it was romantic with them in the past, their highest desire would be to have a romantic connection with you. But this person, for whatever reason, and only you could know personally why this would be if it's relevant for you, but they're feeling like it's not possible for things to be romantic at this point. Now, that might be because of their own headspace. It could be because that's not what you desire, or just because of the circumstances. But that seems to be where this person's mind is at this point in time. Now, if some of these messages have been connecting, then I will be continuing to follow this trail of energy. And on Patreon, in the extended reading, I will actually be taking a look at your aura generally and channeling into any other potential connections that might be attached to you. Now, these could be romantic, these could be platonic, these even could be spiritual messages that come through. But we will be just taking a look at anything or anyone that could potentially be exchanging energy with you in some way. So again, the link to that extended Patreon reading is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. But I want to ask, what else the beautiful divine feminines listening need to know at this time? I'm once again seeing that 222. So this powerful sign of confirmation that you're really on the right track when it comes to something in your life. I'm getting this more so maybe related to your passions, your gifts, your soul purpose, whatever that is for you, whereas other things in your life might feel extremely uncertain or complicated. I'm just getting this kind of situation energetically where there are certain areas of your life that you feel on fire about, that you suddenly feel so clear about. And in fact, there may be something in your life related to you personally that you just received a breakthrough about, or some kind of sudden clarity. This could have been regarding your soul purpose, regarding something from your past that you are wanting to revisit, whether it's a dream, a goal, an idea. It just feels like this, again, sudden sense of the fog lifting and feeling very clear about something, whereas it might feel as though you were walking in a haze for a long time. But on the other hand, I'm getting that there might be certain areas of your life that feel extremely convoluted or even entirely unknown. So for example, you might feel very uncertain when it comes to certain romantic connections in your life. Perhaps something in your life just feels as though it's unknowable, that you're kind of following your intuition, walking in the dark, but not really knowing exactly how things are going to pan out. And I know this has been a constant theme in the readings, but I'm just hearing such a strong message to surrender to the flow and trust the process. Because your life is meant to be in motion, in flow. You are meant to be following your in the moment intuitive guidance, keeping yourself open and receptive, and not holding on in a rigid way to specific timelines or outcomes, but really allowing yourself to move with the flow of your life is the way to keep yourself at the highest level of vibration, in a sense. Just like allowing yourself to float on the water will allow you to stay at that highest watermark, at that highest level, whereas fighting the current will kind of push you down under the current in an uncomfortable way. The same is true for your life. To keep things in flow, there has to be an element of ease and surrendering and really allowing yourself to float on the surface of the current, to be carried by the current, to experience that highest level of vibration in the process of the unfolding of all of that. So with the third chakra in the reverse position, there may be certain doubts or fears surfacing at this point in your journey. This will not be for everyone, but for some divine feminines listening, although you've received sudden clarity about certain things in your life, there may be a little bit of fear coming up or a discomfort as you begin to move down that path. You might wonder, can I trust this clarity? Can I trust this guidance? Can I trust this path that I'm on? You also might find that not everyone desires you to be putting yourself out there in this way. I don't know who I'm speaking to here, but for someone here, you are doing something very new or very different from the people around you. This might involve you being very visible. You may be destined to be in the public eye, to be creating online, to be even achieving some level of what we consider to be fame in the physical world. And only you can know which of these things resonate for your soul's path. But I do feel that this is going to come through sharing from your heart. And the thing is, when you are someone who is as authentic as you are and who truly shares from your heart space, that is naturally going to trigger anyone who has their heart closed off, because your creations are infused with that heart-centered, heart-open energy, with essentially the core soul essence of you, of your being. Therefore, you might find that some of what you share, post, write, create, do in your life that carries that very heart-open essence is naturally going to trigger those who carry fear within themselves and who keep their hearts closed off. But I'm hearing that over time, you are going to be more of an inspiration to others than you are a triggering kind of person to them, or even a perceived threat in some cases. It's just that this process is going to take time, and you're going to have to trust yourself along the way to continue sharing from that authentic space, to continue sharing your path, your truth, your heart, your soul, to follow that guidance in doing or creating or being whatever it is that you came here to do, create, or be, regardless of how others are reacting to it. Because I am seeing that while initially they might feel triggered, over time, you will actually assist them in opening their hearts as well and reaching their own highest potential. And the effect of all of that, the ripple effect, is going to be so much exponentially greater than you can even consciously imagine at this point in time. So in the extended version of the reading, I will be channeling any further spirit guide or higher self messages, whatever cosmic forces you personally connect with. So again, the link to all of those extended messages is in the pinned comment and description box underneath the video. For now, I'm going to read one final Rumi Oracle message, and this is the card Divine Discontent. And the guidebook here says, winter falls upon us, so spring can bring new growth. Cry the tears, allow the longing. Sadness brings surrender and a deep desire to be free. Rumi, there is a sense within you, perhaps quite obvious to your conscious mind, or perhaps only dimly registered as an unnameable, underlying sense of anxiety that something in your life is not quite right. It may be the sense, even amongst so much gratitude, of a yearning yet to be met, a longing yet to be fulfilled and satisfied. This is the pain of the awakening heart. That heart is capable of bliss and ecstatic reverence for the sheer beauty and wonder of creation. Yet, as the heart matures, there will be a process of deep, passionate longing that awakens for the divine. It is the impatience for the caress of the great lover, for the presence of the divine to come to you. As devotion grows and passion for the divine intensifies, so too does this yearning, so much that you may come to feel as though your heart is breaking for the divine. The divine is a fiercely possessive lover. If there is a face of another beloved preventing you from longing for the divine embrace, and if you cannot see that it is the divine beloved within your lover that you are loving, well then, something will be done by heaven. So make your relationships sacrosanct. Seek the divine in all things. Wow, that feels like a beautiful place to close the reading. Thank you so much for tuning into the reading today. I am sending you all huge amounts of love and light energy. If you do resonate with my energy, of course, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. You can also follow me at Magnetize Yourself, where I post more information, inspiration, and energy updates. And of course, if you do now want to continue with me to the extended Patreon reading, the link to do so is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. Otherwise, I am wishing you a beautiful remainder of your day and week. And I will connect with you here again in Monday's reading.